Hey y'all, so I'm back with the woman of the Bible, the Queen of Sheba. Her character, though a pageant queen like Jezebel, she prized wisdom above power. She appears to have been intellectually gifted with a good head for business and diplomacy. Her joy that her quest for wisdom was rewarded beyond her expectations. Her story, Sheba was fragrant land, famous for her perfumes and spices, located on the southwestern tip of Arabia, bordering the Red Sea. It traded precious commodities like gold, frankincense, and myrrh to kingdoms in Africa, India, and the other lands. Little wonder that passing caravans brought news of the wide world to Sheba's queen. Lately, the queen had heard marvelous stories of Solomon, the son of Bathsheba and David, now Israel's third king. At his birth, a prophet had named him beloved of the Lord. Some said he was the wisest man alive. The queen smiled as she recalled the tale of the two prostitutes. Both had claimed to be the mother to the same infant. How could the king possibly know who was telling the truth and who a lie? But Solomon merely ordered the baby cut in half to be divided equally between the two women. He knew the real mother would relinquish her rights rather than let her child perish. Indeed, the king's cleverness had quickly unearthed the truth, reuniting the heartbroken mother and her child. The queen had also heard of the fabulous temples and palaces Solomon had built in Jerusalem. Such a ruler, she realized, would have little trouble controlling the international trade routes crisscrossing his kingdom. Though Jerusalem lay 1,500 miles to the north, the queen was determined to see for herself whether Solomon measured up to even half the tales told of him. Perhaps she could also establish a trade agreement with Israel that will ensure Sheba's future prosperity. prosperity. So she assembled a caravan of camels and loaded them with precious spices, gems, and 4.5 tons of gold. Her entrance into Jerusalem would have created an unforgettable spectacle, adding to Solomon's growing fame. Day after day, the queen pounded Solomon with hard questions, but nothing was too difficult for the king to explain. Her questions finally exhausted. The Queen of Sheba was overwhelmed by what she had discovered. The report I heard in my own country about your achievements and your wisdom is true, but I did not believe these things until I came and saw with my own eyes. Indeed, not even half was told to me. In wisdom and wealth you have far exceeded the reports I heard. How happy your men must be. How happy your officials who could tell you continually stands before you and hear your wisdom. Praise to the Lord your God, who had delighted in you and placed you on the throne of Israel. Because of the Lord's eternal love for Israel, he has made you king to maintain justice and righteousness. Then the queen gave Solomon all the gold and spices she had brought with her, perhaps foreshadowing the magic gift of gold, frankincense, and myrrh to the Christ child nearly 1,000 years later. In fact, Jesus himself referred to the Queen of Sheba when he replied to the Pharisees who had demanded him from a miraculous sign. The Queen of the South will rise to the judgment with the generation and condemn it. For she came from the ends of the earth to listen to Solomon's wisdom, and now one greater than Solomon is here. The ruler of the pagan nation, the Queen of Sheba was drawn to the wisdom of God. After all, she made an adulterous and dangerous journey, traveling 3,000 miles around trip in order to meet the world's wisest man. Surely she must have thought the price was worth it. And I will be back with the woman of the Bible.